Hey there, my name is Przemek and today I got for you a Gladivs Records double feature. I discuss today two albums from this label, Blind Ruler Cursed Land, music for Firewalkers and Sun Vessel, A Seed Fallen to Earth. I've already made a separate video about the Gladivs Records. This is kind of part 2 because the label doesn't rest on its laurels, offering new releases and becoming quite an interesting phenomenon on the underground scene. It seems that the owners of Gladivs have a good sense for finding interesting artists from all over the world, such as the very nicely named Blind Ruler Cursed Land. This is the one-man project from Czech Republic, led by a musician hiding under the pseudonym, because I think it's a pseudonym, Wilhelm Graslich. And according to Discogs, the project is exploring various shades of cultural and moral decline, post-defeat societies, and dark esoteric fanaticism fascinations. In 2023, the project released a split with Arabian Family Payback on a Sky Burial label, and music for Firewalkers is his full-length debut, and how interesting debut it is. This is how the album looks like, the cover and the inside with some credits, of course, and the back. It seems to consist the motifs that we know from albums by other musicians, but when you listen to it in its entirety, a kind of new individual story starts to appear before your eyes, because how else can you call an album where ethnic Indian music influences are combined with martial industrial, referring to the European tradition and style of this genre? Because let's take the second track, for example, Crossing the Rubicon, and the third, War is to be our judge, and to take them one after another, side by side. The second one, despite its Caesarean title, is kind of Indian folk music based on the sounds of sitar, with some alarm sirens added to it. And the third track, War is to be our judge, is the essential martial industrial in the style of Herr, Herr, that martial neoclassical spoken word project that released a few albums for Cold Spring Records. And these influences intertwine here, seemingly giving the impression of being completely incompatible. But when you listen to it more, this confusion kind of goes away, it disappears somewhere, and this thought starts to speak to you like an epiphany, this thought, it really works, and all these inspirations mix and meet in the longest track, Embrace, which brings a bit of ambient and even something like krautrock, which brings to mind the later albums by Der Blutarch and the Infinite Church of Leading Hand. There are clearly some limitations to the sound and form, and sometimes you can even hear that the project had bigger ideas and ambitions in the mind, but lacked the budget or technical possibilities to make them real. But Wilhelm Graslich's imagination itself seems unlimited and beyond the genre framework. And although this album seems to me to be not fully fulfilled or, or accomplished, I don't know, for the reasons mentioned above. But on the other hand, I think that for this musician, sky is the limit, and with better circumstances and technical possibilities, I think we can get a lot of great things from Blind Ruler Cursed Land in the future. But still, this debut is definitely worth your attention. This is something kind of new and fresh on the on this scene. Blind Ruler, Cursed Land, music for Firewalkers. And the second album I would like to talk about today is Sun Vessel, A Seed Fallen to Earth. I reviewed Sun Vessel's first album last year in that first Gladivs Records video, and as you may remember, I really liked it, even despite its obvious inspirations from World Serpents, Neo, Dark Folk, especially Death in June, but it didn't take long for this Australian one-man project to prepare a new album, and here we have it, A Seed Fallen to Earth. This is how it looks like. The cover, the inside, I think under the CD there is a musician's photo, and of course there's also a booklet with lyrics. Again, a photo of musician Uris. I'm not sure what was his last name. And yeah, if you watched my previous video from last week, I think, where I presented my musical top 20 of last year, then you already know roughly what I think about this album. Fourth place in my summary, and I called A Seed Fallen to Earth the best neo-dark folk released in 2024, at least in my opinion. Sure, I could repeat a lot from that first review, because there was no kind of stylist vault here. It's a more of a refinement of the style chosen for Etched in Eternity, but also an attempt to introduce something new here and there, whether it's post-punk drunks, you know already what I have in my head right now. Drums, post-punk drums in Creation's new Camouflage, or the electric guitars in I think in Divine Authority. Those guitars make you think what dark folk might sound like when played in metal style. And again, we can discuss the subject of creative recycling, repeating what has already been mangled many times in different configurations, but what's the reason to do it? What for? This guy has a great sense of melody and composition and atmosphere. These pieces are still great to listen to. Some tracks are instant dark folk classics, like Through the Corpse, Through the Meadow, with that simple keyboard part and backing vocals by Blönwein. And again, I say once again what I already said in the top 2024 albums video. Sun Vessel makes me no longer miss Death in June, and I don't know if I would like Sun Vessel to give up this style and look for their own unique and creative way. He's great at what he does. Apart from that, he introduces new things, like I mentioned before, and I believe that he wants to develop this formula on the subsequent albums that are still to come, while still maintaining this dark folk World Serpent core of his music. Is it anachronistic music? Definitely. Is it captivating? You can't even imagine how. I've already mentioned this third track, Through the Corpse, Through the Meadow, but also those other I mentioned, tracks number 6 and 9. This creation, new camouflage with this vivid post-punk percussion, it's thrilling, it's such a fun and pleasure to listen to it. I'm curious about the next Sun Vessel albums. I'm curious quite much and what creative concept he will choose in the future. But to be honest, I think he can stick to what he's doing now, because he's simply great at what he does. Yeah, Sun Vessel, a seed fallen to earth. My recommendation again. Thanks for watching and see you soon.